Alright, what's up YouTube? Okay, so in this video I then wanna complete this authentication controller. So like I said, we're gonna basically do the login part within this controller class. This is the method for it, and then I wanna just also do the registration method within here as well. In this video, that's what we're gonna be focusing on. We're just gonna set up that class, and then from there on proceed with doing the testing within the next video. So let's proceed with this. So now I'm gonna come right below the login class over here, method, and then we're gonna create our registration method. So it's gonna be post mapping, just gonna call it register. Again, it's gonna be a response entity, and then I'm just gonna say register. Alright, so let's first start by doing this. Now in this API that we're building, I won't do any validation for the registration part. The reason I skip this is because we're basically gonna do the validation within the mobile app itself. So within here I won't do any validations. I don't think it's actually, when you build these kind of things you have to validate, obviously, but I'm gonna skip it in this one. We're gonna do the validations within the mobile app itself before sending the data to this. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up before we start. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say string hash hash password, right? So we're gonna say string, and then we're gonna say hashed password equals to, and then remember we have our password encoder over here. So we're gonna call that now. We're gonna say password encoder dot encode password, and then we're just gonna pass in password here. Okay, so before we proceed, we obviously have to take in a couple of parameters here. So I'm gonna say at param request param. Why is it doing that? Oh, spelling mistake. Okay, this is the one I'm looking for. I don't know why my IntelliSense is not working, but in any case we're gonna say first name, and then obviously this is going to be a string, and then we're gonna say first, and then the next one is going to be last name. Okay, then we need the email. And then obviously password. Right. Any mistake here. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to create a repository. No. So we have our user repository over here, So this one that we're gonna need to create within here is to update a user. So it's gonna be int, we're gonna say register user. So when creating a resource or updating, it needs to return an integer. Otherwise, Spring is gonna throw what you call it, an error, if you don't do it that way. Alright, so the next thing we need to add is the query, right? And then obviously the value is going to be insert into users, and then we're gonna say first name, last name, email, and then password, right? Then we're gonna say values, and then we're gonna add our placeholders. So it's gonna be first name, next one is gonna be last name, and then email, and then password. So just be careful of just always make sure you put the two semicolons there before the placeholders, otherwise it won't see it as is. And then there's another thing that we need to add before I forget. This is a native query, so I'm gonna say native query equals true. Okay, let me just stretch this out just a bit. So we're gonna insert into users, not user, users, insert into users first name, last name, email, password, and then those are our placeholders. Now in here we need to say add param. So remember, it needs to be this first name, the parameter needs to be exactly the same as this placeholder here. So it has to be a string, then it's gonna be first name, right? I'm just gonna copy, I don't want to keep rewriting the same thing over and over, right? I'm gonna copy this, right, and I'm gonna place it here, and then so we just need four. We need first name, last name, email, and password. So let's change this to last name, and then make sure you change this one as well, last name, and then password. Alright, so again, make sure the parameters are the exact same as the placeholders here. So we're gonna insert into users, let me just be sure, first name, last name, email, password, values, etc. Alright, there's a couple of more annotations we need to add here. So the other ones is add transactional. This should be the one, okay. And then we also had to add modifying. I hope this is the correct one. Let me just double check. Add transactional. Okay, from the previous project, I think, let me just change this, hold on. So I believe the one that transactional was this one. So just be careful of the namespace. So this is the one that I used in the previous project, so make sure it's the same one as well. I'm not sure if the other one was gonna throw an error or anything like that, but yeah, I just don't want to keep running into errors and stuff. Alright, so this one is done. We then need to go into our user service and create the class that's gonna, or the method that's gonna help us create the user. So we need to come into this one and say auth, and then come into this user service, right? So let's just go in there. Alright, and then here I'm gonna say public int, remember it's returning an integer, register user. Then we're gonna say return this. Actually, we don't have to. We can just say user repository dot register user. So here it's gonna be first name, you know what, all right. Let's see if there's a, okay, that didn't work. Okay, oh, there it is. All right, so here we are registering the user, so we need the first name, last name, email, and password. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the auth controller. All right. All right, so here, this is where we're gonna register the user. Int result equals to, remember at the top we imported the user service here now, so that's what we're gonna call down here. Dot register user, and then from there on we're just gonna say first name, last name, email. Thanks to the IntelliSense, I was able to just pull in all of the parameters all at once. What am I doing? Alright, so here we're gonna say here we're gonna say if it's not equal to 1, then we will throw we will return an error. So we'll say return new response entity, and here we will just say something like something went wrong, and then we'll say http status dot bad request. I'm gonna copy this, and here we'll say I'm gonna paste this here. Okay, here we'll just say created. Okay, so here we'll just say and that's pretty much it. Let's see, I'm not missing anything. Okay, so that's it for the registration. Like I said, I didn't do any validations within here. We're gonna do that within the mobile app. That's the reason why I skipped it. So I think for now this is all we need. I just want to add one last comment. Oh my goodness, apologies for that. End of just user method. Okay, so we have one last video to do, and then we're gonna test and see if everything that we've been doing for the past couple of videos, is it working or not. If we did not make any mistakes, everything should work as it is, and then we can then proceed towards testing to see if we can register and log in and get the user details and token. Alright, so I think that's it for the video. Again, I didn't want to make it too long, so I'll see you guys within the next video. Thanks again for watching, and then thanks for cheers for now.